What's up YouTubers, this is the Muss here from Aussie Sports Channel. My video today is my UFC 194 predictions. UFC 194 goes down on Sunday for us Aussies at 2 PM and 7 PM I believe on Saturday night in America. I'm going to skip the prelims and get straight on to the main card. The first fight of the evening we will see Max Holloway versus Jeremy Stephens. Holloway is 14-3, 43% by way of KO, 14% by way of submission, 43% by way of decision. Stephens, on the other hand, is 24-11, 71% by way of KO, 8% by way of submission, 21% by way of decision. This fight, I've never really seen much of these two fighters, except that Holloway went the distance with Mcgregor. And Stephens I watched on the last Mcgregor card, and he absolutely demolished his opponent. And I think this fight will be very similar to that. I think that this will be a second inside 2 rounds. I see Stephens KOing Holloway. I just think he's too strong, too fast, too aggressive. So yeah, my prediction would be Stephens inside 2 by way of KO. Now, the second fight of the evening, we will see Damian Maia versus Gunnar Nelson. Maia is 21-6, 14% by way of KO, 48% by way of submission, and 38% by way of decision. Whereas Gunnar Nelson is 14-1-1, 29% by way of KO, 64% by way of submission, and 7% by way of decision. I think this is going to be the classic ground and pound fight. I see Nelson coming out in round 1 and picking him up, slamming him, and just battering him with punches on the ground. And I don't think Maia can handle that. I don't think he's gonna. Don't think he's going to put up with the aggression of Nelson. So I see a round 1 victory by way of submission or knockout for Gunnar Nelson. I just think that Gunnar Nelson is just. I think he's going to be too superior on the ground and too powerful. Now the third fight we'll see of the night is Ronaldo Souza, Jacare, as everyone likes to call him, and Yoel Romero. Jacare is of course 22-3, won no contest, 23% by way of KO, 59% by way of submission, 18% by way of decision. Yoel on the other hand is 10-1, 90% by way of KO, 0% by way of submission, and 10% by way of decision. I think whoever wins this gets a shot at the title. And I think this is the classic grappler versus striker matchup. And I see Yoel not being able to defend the grappling of Jacare. But if he does, I think you will see a completely different fight. But for me, I see a round 1 submission victory for Jacare. I think he's going to get him down early and just hit the submission, and that'll be it. So I think it's going to be quick work of Yoel and then on to the title. Now, speaking of the title, the co-main event of the evening, we will see Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold. Weidman's 13-0, 46% by way of KO, 23% by way of submission, 31% by way of decision. And Rockhold is 14-2, 29% by way of KO, 57% by way of submission, and 14% by way of decision. I think this is the fight for Chris Weidman to open everybody's eyes to how good he is. I don't feel like he's gotten the credit he deserves as champion. He's kind of the forgotten one. He's a very talented fighter. Anyone that watched the Anderson Silva fights, some call it rigged. I don't think it was. I just think it was Weidman being too good and Silva being too cocky. And I think this fight's going to be much the same. I think Rockhold's going to be extremely cocky. And I see Weidman winning round 3 by way of knockout or submission. I've seen Rockhold fight a few times, and he's got a lot of holes in his game. He's not very. I wouldn't say he's that good at standing up. He's more of a wrestler, and I think that's where Weidman's going to pick him apart and finish him in the third. And then finally he will start to get the credit and respect that he deserves as the champion. So yeah, Weidman round 3 by way of KO or submission. Now, the big one, the fight everybody's talking about. The most for me, it's the most anticipated fight in the UFC. Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor. Jose Aldo, 25 and 1, 60% by way of KO, 4% by way of submission, 36% by way of decision, and McGregor's 18 and 2, 89% by way of KO, 6% by way of submission, 6% by way of decision. This fight is a very intriguing one because Jose hasn't been beaten in a very long time, and he is the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. But I feel this is, I think everyone has a fight where they get shown up. Silva had it, Rousey had it against Holm, and I think this is Jose's time. I think a new dog's in town, and it's McGregor. I think McGregor's going to demolish him. I think McGregor's going to keep to his word of his prediction, and I think they're going to have a scuffle in the first exchange. And then I see McGregor doing something doing something to get into the head of Aldo, which he already is, and I think that's where he's already won half the battle. I see him doing something, whether it's a feint hit, whether it's talking smack to him, like he did against Chad Mendes, and I feel like Aldo's going to overreact and then just get popped with kicks, punches, and I think he's going to get embarrassed. I don't see Aldo coming out for the second round. I truly believe McGregor when he says that, because he's won the mental warfare. Aldo's not getting any younger. He's on his way out of the sport. I read an article yesterday, and it said that Aldo, win, lose or draw, could possibly be done with the sport. So that tells me he's after the one big payday only before his way out, and I think McGregor's the one to bring the legend down, and then move on to bigger and better things. But I believe that McGregor will destroy him in round 1, and he will. I believe McGregor will soon be the best pound for pound fighter in the world. I just think he's that good. So yeah, they're my predictions for the fights. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, anything you like. So yeah, have a good one, guys.